Hello everybody, we're back once again on this fine Friday, bringing you the top stories from MMA. Let's get to it. If you haven't been paying attention, Canelo Alvarez and Kamaru Usman have been going backwards and forwards on Twitter talking about a potential boxing MMA crossover fight. It seems like Ali Abdelaziz wants that fight and even Usman as well, but Canelo is not playing dice at all. But if you ask Eddie Hearn about it, I mean, he thinks the whole thing's a joke. He was laughing at Ali Abdelaziz.
I don't really know Ali Abdelaziz, but he embarrassed himself there. You know, it's like, oh, he's only got 8,000 followers. I mean, Canelo fights champion after champion after champion.
Basically, the fight's probably going to happen. Yeah, he said if Dana wants it, he'll make it, but he thinks Canelo wins in a heartbeat. He even said he'd chin him if it was an MMA fight.
I've heard Dana White not speak that favourably about that fight, understandably so, but if he ever did want to do it, we'd do it in a heartbeat, obviously. For him in MMA rules, Usman would be the favourite, but I'd still fancy Canelo to chin him.
In an MMA fight? I mean, it's just take him down. Like, what? You know. There's been a bit more development in the Masvidal-Colby storyline. Yeah, before it was just a tooth injury, and now apparently it's a brain injury. Don't know how we can prove that one though. I mean, he's been hitting the heads more times than your average person, I guess. But they did finally though issue something sensible, a restraining order for Jorge. He has to stay at least 25 feet away from him. How big's an octagon again? Is it 25? So officially, he's being charged with aggravated battery and criminal mischief. Although he's pleaded not guilty, which again is kind of hard to do after you posted a video saying that you hit the guy. It doesn't...
You talk that shit, you gotta back it up. That's how my city rolls, man.
The criminal mischief is because apparently he damaged his 90,000 Rolex watch, and the battery is because, well, he battered him. So that's how it works, isn't it?
Street Judas.
Street justice. We'll be seeing Jorge in court May 12th. Okay, time for some announcements. The King, Casey O'Neill, is unfortunately out of her fight at UFC 276. She was supposed to fight Jessica Ai, but now Macy Barber is stepping in. Apparently she tore her ACL, but she will be back. She is the King, you know, ready to take over the division, of course. Ex-Glory champion Jason Wilness has signed a contract with KSW, yeah, the Polish MMA promotion. He's 2-0 so far in MMA, but in kickboxing he's got wins over Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira. 2 wins, in fact. He's pretty dope. We'll have to see what happens at KSW though. He was 31-12 in his kickboxing record, so we'll see if he's got more to give in MMA. Fight announcement. Josh Emmett versus Calvin Kattar. That's a good one. It was reported by All Access MMA though, I don't know how reliable they are, not really heard of them, so it might be happening, it might be fake news. Either way, yeah, it's definitely worth hearing about because it is a banger of a fight. Emmett does not look like an elf, all right?
Josh Emmett, fans want to change his nickname to the Fighting Falmer based off of the Skyrim character.
The little deformed elf.
The Blind Goblin.
Why do they want to do that?
I guess they think he looks like a farmer.
Everyone's favorite Abe Lincoln impersonator, Zabit Magomed Sharipov, he was supposed to make a return to MMA multiple times, and we've still not really heard anything, but he did post something this week. Yeah, he's pursuing a career in medicine, apparently. Oh. Or at least that's what it seems like. He was at some clinic or some bollocks, I don't really know, but he should really continue to fight, you know? Probably gonna be an anaesthetist, right? So he can continue to knock motherfuckers out. So we still don't know much, and his career is probably in more doubt than ever. Japanese superstar Kaya Sakura was having a chat with Dana White this week. He's traded wins and losses with the likes of Horiguchi and Manel Kape, which are high-level opponents and certainly some of the best in the world. He's not fought since December 31st on their New Year's Eve card. Is he out of contract? Is he waiting for an opponent? Well, nobody really knows. But 12-12, that's a good contract, kid. You should take that. He's also pretty popular. He's got 1 million subscribers on his YouTube, so you can expect some fan interest if he does make the transition over. We don't know the exact details. All we know is it's going to be something amazing. My favorite potential matchup of the week, Aldo versus Aldo. Oh yeah. Aldo's been going on a Twitter tirade, basically telling it like it is. He said Henry Cejudo's a guy who faked his retirement in order to raise his fight purse. Pretty true. And he also said it's pretty ridiculous that TJ Dillashaw, who won a split decision, arguably lost a split decision, should fight for a title when he's basically been out for 2 years because he cheated. Aldo's been fighting the whole time. I mean, come on now. I don't think he'll get the fight. Obviously, Dana's been talking about TJ being the next opponent for Aldo.
Yeah, you probably do the TJ fight.
But if you ask me, he bloody well deserves it, doesn't he? Even if he has had like 15 title shots. Joanna and Jacek sat down with MMA Fighting to have a little bit chat about her potential future in the UFC. And guess what? She's staying there, hopefully until she retires. She's booked a rematch with Zhang Weili, and she's very excited to be back on with a mission and an opponent.
But it's good to be on a mission, you know, and it's just amazing.
So when asked as well, she kind of is only interested in fighting for legacy and pride at the moment. She's got enough money to take care of her grandkids.
Money is not everything, you know. I saved enough money for myself, my kids, my grandkids probably.
But it is only going to be a 3-round fight, not a 5-round fight. Figures as much. And she did say, you know, if you want 5 rounds, you probably do need to pay a bit more money, which is fair enough, really. She also mentioned she's turning 35 this year, but according to her, she's in the best shape of her life.
I feel second wind. I'm turning 35 this year. Wow, I never felt so good, man.
Juliana Pena sat down with Brian Campbell of Morning Combat. They talked about Tough and the rematch with Amanda Nunes. She had a lot of insight to give on Amanda Nunes and describe what her character was like.
She's a little bit more high maintenance than I had originally thought, you know.
But did say if you want to find out the details, you basically have to watch the show. So, I mean, you're going to do that now, right? I do still watch that show. I will watch it because I haven't got anything better to do, you know?
You got mental problems?
People... She did say as well she's expecting the best version of Amanda Nunes. She reckons she's lit a fire under her ass, and I'm not surprised, really.
I think that I lit a gas can of fire right underneath her behind. I think that she's going to be the best Amanda that she's ever been.
Rose Namajunas sat down with Luke Thomas to have a little chit chat, and he kind of brought up the fact that she's only fought the same opponent since 2017. Yeah, the last original opponent she had was Michelle Waterson, and since then it's all been rematches. And she's got another rematch. She's fighting Carla Esparza for the belt. It's coming up. She did say, though, she looks at this as a completely different fight. And to be fair, the last one was a fair few years ago.
For me, this one feels like brand new just because it has been so long. It does feel fresher.
And she says a lot of people underestimate Carla.
Psychologically, I think that she messes people up really bad because they go in there sort of overlooking her, maybe not seeing her as much of a threat. They all of a sudden are trying to figure out why they're on their back, you know?
She knows the last opponents Rose has fought have been pretty intimidating. Carla's not exactly that kind of person, but she thinks it's all about controlling herself, her emotions, and her own game plan this time around.
I'm taking this just as seriously, if not way more seriously than those other two opponents. It's all about like controlling myself, and then I'll be successful.
And when you really think about it, it's been 8 years now since the inaugural title, and these two fought for that. So not much has changed, really. Kind of makes it seem all pointless, doesn't it? My life is a lie. I don't know what I'll do when they stop fighting. The PFL was on Thursday. I know you didn't watch it, so here are the results. In the main event, the heavyweight champion Bruno Capoloza continued his reign of dominance, unfortunately putting away Stuart Austin in the first round. I'm sorry, Stuart. A tough fight, mate. He basically just put it on him from the start, eventually got him to the ground and just pounded him out. Took him to Panland, didn't he? The former champ Lance Palmer fought as well. He's been having a bit of a tough time recently, and unfortunately he picked up another loss again. Yep, he was fighting Chris Wade, who has the most badass name ever. Come on now, Chris Wade. Chris Wade. Is he a Resident Evil character? Is he in Gears of War? And it was kind of a close fight, but the numbers don't really lie on this one. Chris Wade's gonna move up, and everybody scored it for him pretty much. The Dana White Contender Series alumni Brendan Loughnane fought. Yeah, he fought Ryoji Kudo, and it was all going quite well. First round for Kudo, second round for Loughnane, but halfway through the third round, well, there was a bit of a headbutt, and it became a technical decision. Very advanced MMA stuff here. Basically, it had already been halfway through the third round, so they scored it, even though the fight had ended via a headbutt, and he couldn't continue. And they scored it for Brendan Loughnane, so he moves on, gets 3 points in the PFL League. Not bad. How do you feel now, Dana, eh? Takedown in the last 10 seconds? Oh, it's not good enough. Renan Fajeda was also fighting, most well known for escaping a submission by tapping, and then sneaky, isn't it? And then you just punch the other guy. I don't know if it's legal, but it works. Anyway, he was a bit of a laughing stock, but he's actually 6'8" and has won 3 fights in a row by vicious KO, pretty much. So not a laughing stock anymore, really, just one scary motherfucker. He went for a front kick and it missed, and then he threw another one and shinned him right in the face. It was pretty impressive. Shinned him in the face. Apart from the UFC this weekend, if you want to watch more combat sports, well, Uriah Faber's A1 promotion is getting its start. It's supposed to be a new regional promotion to highlight Northern California MMA, and I don't know anyone on the card, but it's probably worth watching if you like combat sports and you have to watch it 24 hours a day. And it's a pretty good time. It starts at 8:30 p.m. in the UK, so there you go. Nice and easy for you. You listening, PFL? All right, everyone, that's it for the news. It's Friday. Go have some fun. Take your trousers off. Don't go do paintball because you get shot and it hurts. And watch some fights this weekend. There's plenty on. Just bleed, baby.